on Ukraine-Russia war. Heavy fighting still continues in Kyiv outskirts. US slaps individual sanctions on Putin, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov. Meta to bar Russian state media from running ads and monetizing on their platform. Japan is also thinking to put sanctions on Russia. Momentum grows to ban Russia from SWIFT payment system. India-Russia relations is distinct from Washington's equation with Moscow, said an US official. Kyiv residents are urged to shelter amid fighting. First batch of Indian evacuees reach Romania. Ukraine reports fresh air cruise missile strikes. Gunfire heard close to government quarters in central Kyiv. Indian-American congressman expresses disappointment over India abstaining Wednesday resolution on Russia. Russian forces launch missile strikes on Ukrainian cities. Clashes in Kyiv are reported. Zelensky asks Israel to mediate with Russia. Ukraine envoy says, "We are not putting down arms," as said by Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. Ukrainian presidential advisor said situation under control in suburbans. US State Department to release up to $350 million in security assistance of Ukraine. Russia claims it has seized the city of Melitopol. War has returned to Europe, as said by Macron. Kyiv's mayor says 35 people, including 2 children, were injured in fighting. The Ukrainian embassy in Moscow is evacuating to Latvia. France is sending weapons to Ukraine. Urgently carry out evacuation of Indian students from Ukraine, as said by Congress President Rahul Gandhi. Education Ministry appeals to Indian students stranded in Ukraine to follow Ministry of External Affairs guidelines. Air India evacuation flight expected to land in Mumbai at 8 p.m. Dutch to deliver 200 air defense rockets to Ukraine. Death toll still continues to rise in Ukraine. Poland will not play World Cup match with Russia, said Polish Football Association head. Ukrainian forces have repelled an attack by 60 Russian paratroopers near Lviv. Ukrainian city of Melitopol not in Russian hands, British minister confirms. Satellite images shows Kyiv's international airport undamaged. Ukrainian air defense unit destroyed on way to Kyiv. Sysak to ship weapons ammunition worth rupees $8.6 million to Ukraine. 1 lakh Ukrainians have entered Poland since the war began. Internet in Ukraine disrupted as Russian troops advances. Amnesty International, in a press release on Friday, accused Russian forces of indiscriminate attacks on the civilian areas and strikes on protected objects such as hospitals. Russian forces 30 kilometers away from the center of Kyiv, UK confirms. Kyiv calls for a global embargo on Russian oil. Center supports release from strategic petroleum reserves. Jharkhand government to reimburse airfare of citizens returning from Ukraine on personal expenses. Anti-war protest in Turkish capital continues. UK opposition urged Prime Minister to expel Russian ambassador. Russia has banned airlines from Bulgaria, Poland and the Sysak Republic in retaliation to similar rules from these countries. Bulk of Russian forces just 18 miles from Kyiv, according to UK intelligence. British forces arrive in Eastern Europe to bolster NATO's eastern flank, and the most breaking news is Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky speaks to Prime Minister Narendra Modi regarding the situation in Ukraine. He also urged India to extend political support in the United Nations Security Council. Thank you. Do like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.